Hey, what's going on, guys? I just wanted to make a video showing some of the diamond SMGs. If you didn't know, when you get gold camo in this game, if you get gold in every gun in its class, it unlocks a secret camo or hidden camo, which is diamond, and it's not as hard as it may seem to unlock. It's actually probably easier than you'd expect, because gold in this game isn't really that difficult to unlock on most of the standard weapons. So I just wanted to cover a few tips that worked for me to help me unlock them. I've got a gameplay here, or clips from a gameplay. If the aim looks completely off and it looks all lagging out, it's because it was taken from theatre mode, which doesn't really work all that well, and especially in this game. Because this game, I thought, I wasn't recording at the time, but when it happened I thought, okay, this was the last gun I needed to do, so I thought I would use it as my gameplay, because I got the last, I think it's 18 headshots in this game, with the Chicom, I believe it's called, or the Chicom, something like that. So I thought I would use this gameplay, but then when I went to get it off theatre mode, it gets about 1/3 of the way through, and then just goes, it just stays on buffering. I don't know why that is. If I reload it, it sometimes stutters like every 3 seconds. It will stutter for like 10 seconds every 3 seconds, or it just won't move at all. So I just used some clips from the part that I did have, and after that I've just put video clips of the diamond weapons, just using them in a custom game just to show you. I wanted to get some actual gameplay with them, but my connection was being really poor at the time. Right, let's get into some tips now. For me personally, the hardest gun to get the headshots on was the Chicom. For you it might be different. Everyone's experience is going to be different with getting headshots with individual weapons. For me, most of them were pretty easy, except the MSMC. Most of you guys, people consider that to be like a really overpowered weapon. I personally don't like it. I don't like using it. That's not because I feel it's overpowered, just because it doesn't really work that well for me when I try it out. That weapon is kind of strange. At close range, I just didn't seem to be able to hit a headshot with it. But if I was firing it like right across cargo, I'd seem to get headshots with it. So that's, I tried to keep range with that one, which is sounds a bit counterintuitive, but it worked. The Vector is really, I found it really easy to get headshots with. You want to put red dot on the guns for better accuracy. That's kind of obvious.
Do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission.
If you are struggling with any of them, these are kind of tips that will cover any weapon. It might be a bit cheap, but I didn't need to use it for pretty much any of them except the Chicom. But if you put on fast hands and the second tier perk and stun maze, stun someone, run over, and then just headshot them that way, that can work. It's if you're going out your way to get headshots, it's not as difficult as it might sound. You can, as long as you're playing against sort of average Joes, you can come out of the game with 15+ headshots a game with pretty much any of the SMGs. One thing that actually really saved me, and unfortunately I didn't unlock it until I think maybe the last 25 headshots I needed for the Chicom, and that's what's shown in the gameplay at the beginning of this video. If you use the rate of fire, I believe it's called, the attachment that changes the rate of fire, and change it to fully auto, that helps a lot. I found it 10 times easier to do it with that, because the burst, when it's in burst mode, the hit detection just seems really off at times. Unless you're point blank at someone, it seems to even give hit markers with one burst at even like sort of mid range, even a headshot. But then if you sort of pull the trigger really fast and try and rapid fire it, it kicks very heavily at mid range, even with the foregrip. So the rate of fire attachment is something that I'd really recommend using on the Chicom. Again, that's the only one I really had trouble with, but even then it was only around a couple hours of, maybe 2-3 hours of gameplay to get the headshots for that gun. The Vector, I don't know if I've already said, but the Vector was, I found it to be the easiest. What was kind of funny is, you'll notice that for certain guns, unlocking the gold in the first place, it kind of, the challenges, because to get the gold, if you didn't already know, to get the gold you have to do all the camo challenges that start. So with the SMGs, I believe it's 100 headshots with every weapon, and then it will unlock further camos, or sorry, further challenges for camos. And you need to get like 20 double kills, 10, I believe, bloodthirsties, 30 revenge medals, and maybe another one I can't really remember. And oh, that's it, the most annoying ones of all. To unlock the Cherry Blossom and the Art of War camos, you have to get 150 kills with the gun. With one of them, you have to get one of the camos, you have to do it with no attachments, and to get the other camo, you have to get 150 kills with no perks. It's quicker, it can be quicker if you do these both at the same time, but obviously it makes it more difficult using no perks and no attachments. But even that, you'll find it works kind of strangely, because the Vector I found possibly the easiest one to get headshots with, because that's sort of close range. Close to mid range, it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, so you just sort of aim it at head level and just hold the trigger. Maybe you can sort of shift side to side slightly, and you'll find yourself picking up headshots very easily with it. But then when it comes to getting the bloodthirsty medals and not the bloodthirsty medals, the 150 without the perks and the attachments, I found that probably the most difficult with the Vector, and the same with the Chicom. I found that the hardest to get the headshots with, but I did the easily did the 150 no perks, no attachments together, on top of also unlocking like the bloodthirsties and the double kills and that. I think the only one that I had left to do after I'd done the 150 of each, or the 150 together, was the revenge medals, which is kind of strange because usually the way the spawns work in this game, you can usually unlock the revenge medals very quickly. But I'd got every camo with the Chicom before, and I'd only reached up to something like 17 revenge medals, so I had to then go chasing revenge kills over and over again. But again, it might sound like a lot, like getting gold on every single SMG. There's 6 SMGs, but the SMGs work really well in this game, and pretty much every map caters to SMGs. So you probably won't find. It takes a bit of time, but it's definitely not hard. It's definitely not hard. It just takes a little bit of grind, but it's well worth doing. So they look really cool. But I think I've kind of covered everything I can think of. If anyone has any issues with any certain gun, just leave in the comments. Let me know what one you were struggling with, or which one you found easiest. Because as I said, it's kind of funny how you will notice different people having very different experiences with each weapon. But if you like this vid, please help me out by subscribing, liking the vid, even add a favourite. Any of those things can help me out. And I've just realised that I just got an email, I just hit 200 subs. I'll probably do a separate video for it specifically, but I just want to thank you for all the views, all the subs and everything. I really appreciate it, guys. Cheers.